We're about to launch into action for Moto3 here at Motorland Aragon. It's round 12 of the season and there is so much intrigue as to what we could see here today. Welcome to Aragon, welcome back to racing. Let's cross over and get ready with the world feed.
Just to reiterate, if you are just joining us here, the riders are talking about how dirty the track is. Obviously, the conditions are patchy, but it's been raining at night, sort of 4 or 5 o'clock in the morning, really stormy, and bringing the dirt back onto the track. And it's been cleaned, actually, the grid. So, but the rest of the track clearly won't have been sorted out. And it is just causing grip problems and all sorts of...
It's tricky.
This weekend,
it really is. I feel sorry for the organisers. They've resurfaced this track, and there is a period of the race surface, the new surface, curing, really settling in, and we're not at that period yet. It's still too early. And also this time of year, where we are, where the track's situated, we say sometimes it's like you're on the moon. You do feel like you're in the middle of nowhere. It's really barren, dusty, dirty, and a little bit of breeze in the air, the rain, it just drags all the dirt onto the track. So irrespective of how much work the people do at the track to try and clean the track, when it rains, it just throws a load of dirt. And the only way you can clean it is by riding round. So what then happens is you end up with a really narrow racing line. So it's going to be, this race is going to be so hard.
And the Moto3, boy, they're almost the cleaners, aren't they, really, for everybody else, unfortunately. You're looking at shots of Danny Holgado, lying third in the championship. And, you know, really in there. We've got Ortola as well in the mix. It's that big scrap for second, in fairness, isn't it?
It sort of looks like that with Alonso with that big lead in the championship. I mean, Alonso's won 7 out of the 11 races. It's just incredible, and he's been the fastest by miles this weekend. So, yeah, it's a big scrap for second. I saw Ortola's qualified lower down than expected. I don't know what happened there. Yeah, which is not like him, because he's been the man on form recently. So he'll be hoping to get a good start. Problem is, when you qualify low down in these conditions, you have to take a few more risks than you really want to.
Neil, Stefano Neppa alongside Scott Ogden, and as I say that, Michael walks in. I'll let you go and you go to commentary. Michael, you've just been onto the grid. Clearly mixed conditions on the different sides of where it's wet and dry. It's very tricky for them, isn't it?
Yeah, especially the left side of the grid. It's still quite wet underfoot. It doesn't feel too slick. I think the organisers have done a good job of cleaning it overnight and again this morning. So it just feels a little disconcerting. So you're starting off, you could spin off the line, you're going down into the braking zone, and you're on wet weather conditions with dry tyres. So it's going to be a tricky turn one and a tricky first few laps, but I think all the riders worrying about the dirty track, knowing that it may be like Friday morning when the track was really green, quite dirty, so high tyre wear, not a lot of traction in those early laps, but as we've said all weekend, the track continues to evolve with each lap around here.
That was quite interesting, that shot, actually. It was very different to the one that we saw even 10 minutes ago. It looked like that wet line was drying even further.
Yeah, it is. The sun's beaten down quite strong at the moment, so the track, it's getting better. It will, even in these, after the warm-up laps, another 5 minutes along, the dry line will continue to broaden, so it just gives you confidence, but everyone's going to be a little bit patient in the early laps, and as the race progresses, it will get faster and more confidence-inspiring out there in terms of grip.
Just a quick word about Jose Antonio Rueda, who's looked good this weekend. He's going from second.
Yeah, really strong. He has probably been the standout performer who could take the challenge to David Alonso today. He's back on form as he was in pre-season. And
a quick line on how do you think it's going to run out this race?
I think it'll be the clever riders like Alonso, like Colin Vire will control the pace. I think there may be a few attritional moments in these early laps, riders going offline to make overtakes and tipping off. So yeah, getting through the first few laps clean, and then it'll be a battle.
Thank you very much, Michael. Our first race of the day then, as the camera sweeps along the front row of the grid here in Aragon. Your Moto3 race. Neil Hodgson's running very quickly to join Gavin Emmett. Good morning.
Thank you very much, Susie. Yeah, he's not quite made it back yet, but for now we are ready to go with this grid, with David Alonso heading us up, looking to take his 8th win of the first 12 races.
He's our championship leader, all right, is Alonso, and going absolutely brilliantly. Here it comes. Moto3 gets underway then with the Aragon Grand Prix, and we're all set for what's going to be a very interesting race. Hello everyone watching live on JBMotorsports 2, and everyone watching on JBMotorsports Twitch as well, and everyone watching delayed when we upload this to JBMotorsports as well. Here's your grid then. David Alonso is on pole position with Jose Antonio Rueda and David Munoz alongside in third. It's Piqueras alongside Kelso and Lunetta. Holgado ahead of Bertoletti, Vire in 9th. Ortola has the top 10. Nepa from Ogden, Estevan Almanza, Farizzo, Ferroli, Fernandez, Rulstone, Suzuki, Diltwaller, Zurazita, Atama as well in 22nd, and Rossi, Caro, Yamanaka, Perez and Barassi. We're underway then on the warm-up lap here for the Motorland Aragon, a crucial round of the championship here. And it looks like the F2 race is literally just finished when we're due to on air for Moto3. So that's how the timing goes at the moment, it seems. It's just one after the other. Perfect timing then here at the moment as we get ready for the next action. They're on the parade lap then. Let's check in with our team, Gavin Emmett, alongside Neil Hodson. Alonso, by the way, leads by 71 points in this championship.
Yeah, I've got to say, I mean, in a weird sort of way, David Alonso's unlucky, because if it was a normal dry day, if it not rained overnight, I'd have said, look, he's going to absolutely check out. But these conditions are super tricky. So if I was David Alonso's team manager, I'd be saying, do not risk anything on the opening laps. Your pace is so much better. Let the race come to you. Every rider's complained about grip levels all weekend, but certainly after the rain. So this is as tough as it gets.
We don't often talk about Moto3 tyres, but I think it's important to, because we have seen graining, serious graining in MotoGP, and we expect it in both Moto2 and Moto3 with the Pirelli tyres. Now, pretty much everyone's gone with the harder options available, so that's the medium front in Moto3 and the medium rear. But there was a third tyre brought this weekend for safety, and it was called, instead of the SC2 medium, which is the majority on, the C1096. It's snappy.
Rolled off the tongue nicely, that one.
But importantly, Jose Antonio Rueda and Angel Piqueras, as well as Filippo Farioli and Xavi Surutu's the first back. But more importantly, Rueda second, Piqueras in fourth. It's a development hard tyre that Pirelli have brought for safety here, and second and fourth in the grid have gone for it.
That's really interesting. So I was going to say my dark horse is Piqueras, the rookie. He's looked good this weekend, looked really confident. And if he's chosen that tyre, what could happen? When there's less rubber on the track, the tyres wear more. It tears them a little bit more. So that could be a really clever move. And do you know what? The opening laps, the pace is going to be really low anyway. So that could really work for him.
That's interesting, isn't it?
I think if you've got a harder tyre, sometimes opening laps you can lose.
Yeah.
If, as everybody pulls away, I think the group will stay together, and then he'll have the best time for the second half. But
8 of 12 races then so far this season for Alonso. Can he get another victory? A 71 points clear in the championship as things stand. It's an amazing gap at the moment, and the tension very much is rising. Red flag at the front then. Dry track, damp track, greasy, slippery. Moto3 are being thrown into the extreme here. Stand by for action and an all-encompassing first lap. We're all set then for Motorland Aragon's return. It's lights out for Moto3. Gingerly, everybody pulls away. David Alonso on the dry line leads down towards turn number 1. Rouge is on the inside, and look at that. Everyone who started on the inside line, the damp part of the track, they've dropped back massively. Rouge to second, Piqueras up to third, Lanetta fourth, Aragon in fifth. Everybody again having that changeover time, and I'm not expecting many moves on the opening lap. They're all going to be gingerly going through, just making sure it's all okay as they come through 3 wide. Ruda, Piqueras and Lanetta not caring at all whether or not this is going to be a race to contend with. They are pushing like absolute crazy. Munoz has dropped down to 14th place. How they could decide that that was a fair thing, I don't know, with sending it through on the inside line. It didn't make sense to me as to how it was fair to have that run on the inside. Ogden up into 11th position as well. Atom is down to 23rd. Rulestone in 24th, which will come through 5, 6 and 7, the bottom half of the track then for the first time. Alonso leads this race so far. Farizzo up to 9th, Bertoletti takes 10th position. Scott Ogden, as I said, is still in 11th as they fly back through. Piqueras has got a massive lunge. Lanette's coming through. Jose Antonio Ruda coming now into 10-11. They're all going to change places, but 3 wide coming through. And about 4 rows deep coming into turn 12. They really have not taken a care in the world here. They are going to throw it in and just see what works and what doesn't. And then whatever doesn't, we'll do it again in that next lap. Okay, so far, Alonso 1.6 seconds. already. Now, that's just insane. You can tell that the track here is just getting up to grip again. It's a completely different situation. Kelso to the inside, takes second position. And that's because Piqueras, losing out a bit of aquaplaning at the last corner, went too wide. And it's just going to be this situation where you're toing and throwing for the entire race. Over the line we go then. 1 lap complete. 15 to go. On to lap 2. Holgado up to 3rd place. No one touching the damp line which half the field started on. That's going to take a long time to dry. It might even be dangerous in Moto 2 when we get going in an hour 15. And Alonso still pushing hard at the front. He's got that dry line. Rude is up into 7th position. Annette and Ortola down into 8th and 9th places. As the field, again, you can see on the timer screen, just churning places. As up the inside, oh, little twitch as well from Tyre Furusato. And Bertoletti came back through as well. So Furusato really having trouble there. Just the danger parts of the circuit where it can just snap at you. Just a little nudge and it just sends you down the deck. Alonso still leads. Ruda up into position. Zamizura Zita's up to 11th now. Scott Ogden is in P9. Adrian Fernandez passing Holgado, who drops down 2 places. He's up 15 places from where he started. Storming start from Fernandez. That's helped by starting on the right-hand side of the track, the dry line coming down in towards turn number 1 compared to the rest of the field. Holgado swings around the outside of Ruda as well. Alonso's now 2 seconds up the road. He's not paying any attention at all to this. Into the chicanes once more. 13, 14, 15. Last 2 corners, 16, 17 on the circuit. Back we go again then. Suzuki, Ogden down to 12th. We're now watching Reed on the back of Holgado. Holgado very much not moving. It's a long line effect. As we come under pressure to turn number 16, the last corner, then 17. Fernandez to the inside of Kelso. Kelso twitching. Fernandez gets such a great exit up towards the line. And Fernandez makes the move with Kelso not being on the right. He doesn't feel safe enough. Fernandez is a 2:05.342. He's 0.5 of a lap faster than Alonso is. And Alonso's leading the race by 2 seconds. That's going to come down. Fernandez has got enormous grip up there. The Leopard Racing squad is looking fantastic compared to the Gabatola Aspar, well, the Aspar team of Alonso. First sector, 35.2 for Alonso, 35.3 for Fernandez. Just waiting to see if that's going to change over between the two. It's a weird turnaround at the moment, isn't it? As we take a seat up here in the comms box, move camera angles. 15 laps to go. Here's David Munoz in 12th position, home soil here in Aragon, Spain. A few riders twitching over places as well. They don't want to get messed up in any of this. They know what they could have wrong with them if they even attempt an overtake that could drastically go wrong. Off the racing line here, and it's just going to spit you up. Alonso, though, proving why he's leading and dominating the Moto 3 Championship. Just as rightly as he does. Side by side, Holgado trying to pass Furusato. Furusato's back through for 5th position. A nice move as well to contend with. Into the braking zone for the chicane. 1.9 seconds, Alonso leads then at the front of the field. They turn and control again. Pedal to the metal. It's sheer poetry out here right now. Again, just a few tight positions on the circuit. Down, down, down a few. Alonso now losing out 2.8 seconds now as they come over the line. Let's check in with TNT.
Opportunity. So it's going to be interesting. There will be some riders that won't be able to do that.
The one I'm looking at, Shami Suratuta, up to 9, 21st on the grid, and the youngster, a rookie this year. He's looking for a ride, actually, after one season with the IO team. It sounds like he's on his way out from there. But Suratuta's reacting to that, isn't he? And he's up into 9th place. Matteo Bertelli. into 7th, had a really tough year, but thinking, right, this is my chance. They're on the yellow bike, good to see.
You have a chance of getting a podium, you really have, if you're prepared to risk a little bit more.
He's risking here.
Yeah.
On the inside of Kelso, who was second a moment ago, and now finds himself back in 7th, comes straight back at the Italian Bertelli. Colin Fire is the fastest rider on track on that last lap, a 2:04.0. Compare that to Alonso's 2:04.4.
Yeah, the beauty for Alonso now, because he's got that lead, you can control it from the front. Even at this point, even with 14 laps to go, watch your pit board. Try and keep that gap now at 2 seconds. Don't overstretch your tyres, because like we've said earlier, they are going to wear a lot in these conditions. Look at the dirt. You can see the dirt. If you go offline, you can see it, dust and grit and all that lot. Sand. There's a lot of sand on the track.
And what does that do to the tyres, Neil?
It's like getting a Brillo paddle, sandpaper, literally just rubbing up the edges of the tyre. We've seen it before. Sort of like in Indonesia when there's a lot of sand and dirt on that track out in Mandalika.
Yeah, it took a while for that to actually rubber back in, didn't it? Alonso now leads by 89 points in the championship to Holgado, who's down in 5th position. This is amazing from Alonso. The Colombian rider just getting faster and faster and faster, race upon race, weekend upon weekend, as they come into the braking zone once again. 2, 3 and 4 battling for Osato, Fernandez and Ruda. Ruda's passed for Osato. So Ruda up into 3rd. It's not the usual Moto3 race that we've been expecting. This damp track still playing a major factor in it. It's dried out a lot over the past hour though. Via, Lunetta, Piqueras all setting the fastest lap. Ruda getting sent out wide there. That was Zorazito as well getting sent out and losing down into 12th position. Side by side, Osato gets back ahead of Adrian Fernandez, so back up into 2nd now. All these squabblings means that Alonso is still 2 seconds ahead of them at the front of the field, which doesn't really change, doesn't really adjust anything. It just sort of keeps everything the same and doesn't really do much help out on the circuit. Ruda passes Holgado. Piqueras is down. Has to be for him to... Yeah, he's gone off the track. Piqueras has gone off the track. Now, as he rejoined safely, I saw him dive off the circuit. I think he has. No, he's yellow flag. I bet he's lost it. So, Piqueras is crashed out. Rider okay. Turn 9, downhill section of the circuit. 9 times out of 10 you just go, ooh, but still, it's not great. There he is, trying to get restarted. Yeah, well, let's take a look. He's just going to go straight on, and then I think he's going to drop it when he tries to take it downhill. How did he drop it? Oh, he dropped it at the exit when he came off the runoff area. That's bizarre. At turn 9.
And that's what happens on occasion. So Angel Piqueras talked that empty helmets could be about to buy him out of his Leopard contract. And we're talking, the rumour is MotoGP money to do so.
Tell you what though, I'm impressed with him, what I've seen, definitely in his rookie year, but maybe not to that extent.
You've got to see on the KTM. Obviously, he gave up his KTM contract last year. Rosato's closing here on Alonso. He gave up his contract last year, so I suppose Red Bull KTM are sort of thinking, well, you said no to us last year. Well, you know, why am I going to give you a ride? You've already had 1 contract buyout, but empty helmets could well offer him a future. They've got a load of money.
Do you know what, we've seen this before. We actually saw it with Fabio Quartararo really early on in his career. He came in with... The problem is, when you win all the junior sort of championships, you come in with your chest out. The problem is you've not got proper management around you, and you can make some silly decisions really early on in your career. Whoa, it's tight through there.
Oh, Colin.
3 wide, Colin Vire taking through the inside line. That's taking some nice places. So, yeah, they're not fearful here, are they, at this place? Vire's now up into 3rd place, by the way. He gets ahead of Ruda and Fernandez. Fernandez dropping him back major. He's down to 6th now. Load of places lost, and he's now, look, yeah, Holgado going through on the inside line. Fernandez just did not pay attention at all in that part of the track. Down we go again. Ruda trying to get through on fire into turn 12. Not going to work out there. Through 13, 14 and 15 then. The chicane area of this circuit, that takes out the straight line fast effects. Don't know why, but rev limiter, I suppose. Aragon definitely is, I think, the best motorcycle track for MotoGP in Spain. Kind of ruined slightly by this ridiculous asphalt that's been put down and kind of spoiled it all. It's been put down we're racing here too early. He hasn't had time to bed in. It's too rich and absorbing the heat as well. As they come over the line again then. Alonso by 1.3 seconds and takes the fast lap, but Furasato was quicker by 1.5 seconds on that last lap time. So this is now Furasato really bringing that gap down to Alonso. Meantime, Fernandez and Lanetta battling out together as well. Lanetta stays ahead of, and then Hologalo ahead of Fernandez too. Lanetta and Fernandez, we're in a battle actually. And it's instant involving in turn 8 instead of an investigation by the stewards now. So there's something not quite right there either. As they attack back, Alonso leading by 1.8 seconds. Lap 7 of 17.
Came in as runner-up last year actually to Angel Piqueras, and he hadn't really followed Moreda really over the top there. No penalties for that because it's a high Misano curb. But yeah, Lunetta's done well, hasn't he?
Yeah, it's been a strong rookie season, but the good news is there's been signs here during certain points of weekends. The odd race here and there, he's looked strong. He's been up in the mix at the front of races in the battle, and you feel with some of the top boys moving up to Moto 2 next year, Lunetto will be in a really strong position to not if he'll fight for the title, but I'd like to see him fight inside the top 5.
There's the Carlos Montelli as well, who's always been there trying to help out the young talent. He was second to Piqueras in the Junior GP race last year here, so likes Aragon.
So Furasato must have made a mistake because he's been passed.
Oh yeah, by Via.
Yeah.
Must have been, yeah. As he's pushing on, it's the warning, isn't it, for Furasato? So good spot, Neil. Colin Via up to second now. And if things stay the same by the end of this race, Via would be past Ortola and back into second in the championship.
And Alonso will have 87-point lead in the championship. I mean, is this going to be a record for someone being crowned world champion at the earliest point ever?
Yeah, I mean, it's 20
before the flyaways start,
yeah,
pretty much. Well, if he wins Misano 1 and 2.
Yeah, be remarkable, wouldn't it?
It would be remarkable.
Put it past him as Luca Lunetta a late lunge on Jose Antonio Rueda. And again, you see as soon as those shots with the lower sun, and you can actually see where the track is starting to be cleaned up and the rubber is starting to be laid down, and how dirty it is as soon as you get off that line.
What happens is your mistakes are punished. If you get offline, you then can't keep the same corner and speed or anything like that. You have to stand the bike up, almost like it's slightly wet.
Yellow flag sector 1. Barassi has crashed out, apparently, according to our monitors. So, Takahol Barassi out, and yeah, Rossi and Atamida passes as well on our timing tower. So, that's unfortunate there on the running order. Already a couple already out of this race. Alonso 2 seconds ahead to Via now. Via a second ahead of Furasato. Don't know, it's just the Pirelli tyres should be giving us a bigger run around, and it's not. As many riders running off the track there. Furasato, one of them. That's going to allow Luca Lunetta to send him around the outside, and he's through the inside line into turn 12. So Furasato losing out to Luca Lunetta there. And I swear Ruda went off the track as well, so he'll get a track limits warning. Watch out for Kelso to come back through and have an attack again on the line. All changing then here, 10 to go, and not the usual Moto3 bonanza we see, thanks to these difficult track conditions out here.
During the race, he'd run into your back wheel, so if you're in a corner, he'd tap you with his front wheel onto your back wheel, which is dangerous for him, but he used to do it, and I think, I know you're there. Yeah. Oh, Norrie, proper legend.
He was a legend on and off the track.
Yeah. He liked to party out. He was proper old school.
Obviously he came over a couple of seasons here. the Aprilia ride when Colin Edwards and he came across.
He was wandering around the paddock smoking and drinking. Like, he definitely wasn't an athlete.
Hey, incredible on a 500 bike, wasn't he, when he rode as a wild card as well?
Oh, yeah. Oh, talent. But that was all natural talent and aggression. That lovely mixture. Horrible to race against.
And I think Furusato, you're right, has a little bit of edge. I'm not sure he's quite the wild man, though. Furusato.
No, I've not seen with a cigarette and a pint a mile walking through the paddock just yet, but this time...
Yellow flag centre 4.
Let's not encourage it. Let's not encourage it.
So, Alonso was really... It's so Alonso. He's so responded. He set the fastest lap of the race on the last lap. It's pretty much... Oh, no, sorry. He set his fastest lap of the race. Via's responded behind him, but he's controlling that gap at 2 seconds really well.
Yeah, 1.993 across the line it was. It's come down a little bit more. So Via is starting to get the bit between his teeth here.
Oh, yeah, he is. You can tell.
Just eat in to
1.4 the gap, yeah.
David Alonso.
Oh, yeah, 1.4.
Halfway point of the race, 8.5 down, 8.5 to go here. So he is just...
Ferrari stopped with a technical issue, by the way.
I like what I'm seeing here from Colin Via, but do you know what we've got on track for me? The two smartest riders in Moto3, 1 and 2.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm not going to argue with that. Yeah, these are the class of the field.
Yeah, they always do practice by themselves.
Yeah, Ortola's a Sunday man. I don't see Ortola, who still sits second in the championship. He don't put his weekends together quite as good. He's more of an out-and-out scrapper when it comes to that battle.
That's what I see. He's got maybe racecraft or guile, shall we say.
Yeah.
But I feel like Alonso and Bayer, it's all calculated.
Absolutely.
The way they do practice.
And if you've got that, then you've got more chance of progressing through the ranks better.
Via just did a 2:01.292. The gap now between him and Alonso stands at 1.2 seconds. So it could happen, you know, that we're going to see an overtake finally for a lead in a Moto3 race. And I'll be the first to say that's fantastic news, and it's very well deserved. Alonso and Via now the gap, well, 8/10 Via took out in the last lap time alone. So Moto3 starting to become a little bit more exciting here. Brilliant, exactly what we wanted to see. Exactly what I feel we need to see here. We're done with having these problems out on the circuit, time after time. More action at the front, please. That's what we like to see. Ruda moving out a couple of places as well. So yeah, just going to hold it together. And yeah, there isn't much problematics out there at the moment going from race control, which is okay. Not many messages coming through, just for early stop with a technical issue. And that's what caused the yellow flag in the last sector. Furusato has been given a track limits warning now by the stewards. The gap is now down to 0.8 of a second. Via has closed in Alonso massively. The Colombian's in real trouble, David Alonso. Has he gone too early with these Pirelli tyres? Is Via take through for the win?
But we are getting to that stage in the race that if they are going to start to tear up a little bit, you usually see a dog line on the rear tyres.
Had our first track limits warning, and it comes for Tayo Furusato there in number 72 in 5th place, who is just about to be passed by Joel Kelso. Too many track limits areas on this racetrack because they've got the curbs in a lot of places around. Like there's one, if you were to keep running, then you would hit the green. So there's still a couple of areas where there is green paint around, but Furusato keeps hitting it. Another one here, Neil, to keep an eye on, is Jose Antonio Rueda with that development hard tyre, faster than both Bayer and Alonso. In fact, he was 1.2 quicker than Alonso on that last lap.
This would be some choice by, you know, taking a risk using a development tyre, but a harder compound tyre is going to start working about now. So it's going to be really interesting to see. I mean, look at that. I mean, that's crazy.
To deal with the heat and the heat build-up in the tyres, they brought this hard option effectively. They normally only get a couple of options, and they won't have had much scope to use it, will they? At any point this weekend, really?
No.
So it could be a shot.
It's a roll of the dice, isn't it? Going, listen, it's a harder compounder. It's not a huge step, probably worth the risk.
Taking Lunetta with him. intriguing end we've got coming in this Moto3 race.
Tell you what, if they drag Lunetta up to these lot, I don't know
Oh,
if I've been watching
Via
the cracks of my
comes up
fingers. You saw Rueda run right off the track at the back, but you're allowed to do that.
Yeah.
It's not because you don't gain time by it. They've not painted the, let's say, the outside of the track there green. There's loads of runoff, so there's not a safety issue. It's self-policing. Look, he's lost a place because of it. Just to sum it up.
You're obviously pushing that a little bit too much.
Here we go. We're going to see what he's going to go wide. Here, there you go. Off the track.
It's that turn 9 again.
It'll be dirty out there as well.
All the riders saying turn 9's the worst feeling on this whole racetrack, and he was on the exit there that just got it all wrong. Rueda rejoins, he's back in front of Luca Lunetta. We've got a scrap at the front. It looks like we are side by side almost now with Colin Via.
Yeah, and these boys are closing in fast, even with that. Watch this, like even with that mistake, running off the track, losing the time.
It's a
Rueda's
tenth.
lap time then was a second again faster than your leader.
Yeah, this is really now becoming a case of Via is just going to attack the front, attack. It's not going to be a question of, oh, let's see what happens next. Via's already on the back, and he's going for it, and he gets through. Colin Via to the inside of turn 4, takes the lead of David Alonso. As they come into 6, he's already done it. Colin Via leads, and now Rueda and Lunetta are battling out. Rueda's ahead of Lunetta, and they're closing in. A 4-way scrap is fighting here between the top in the championship. Alonso, of course, leads, but Colin Via is his closest championship contender. Well, this is certainly giving entertainment to the books. Let's take it. Well, what a race we've got coming.
That's so bad. Let me just look. How many laps? 6 laps to go. That's a mess.
So
We've
that's
seen
like
this
the 80 of
before as
Alonso.
well now. Yeah, Portimao. It's the worst feeling. Essentially, what it's like, you on the full lean then, when you're right in the corner, the bike usually doesn't want to turn. This is definitely going to be a damage limitation. Don't get me wrong, the other tyres could look the same, but we know Rueda, who's currently sat third, has got that harder tyre. It's less likely to tear.
I wonder what Piqueras would have done as well if he hadn't have crashed with this incident through the reverse corkscrew. But Rueda right on the back. Lunetta's been brought along for the ride, and having thought the first stages of this race that we weren't going to get one.
Yeah, it's all changed now, hasn't it? Because now Alonso's going to get passed by Rueda. Via's moved up by 1/10 of a second. Rueda's going to go into second position to the inside line of the last corner and gets ahead of Alonso, who nearly takes out his front wheel. And Luca Lunetta's going to go through as well. He elbows out David Alonso, the championship leader. Alonso says, no, you don't. You hold your ground. And he stays through on the outside line. And now the real battle starts as they come over the line, down and again in towards turn number 1. 5 to go, and it's an all-out war. Via leads, Rueda in second. Rueda wants this race lead as well. And it's just it's anybody's guess as to who's going to win. It's a scary situation what we've got coming through right now, because everybody knows it's one mistake. One tiny mistake will change everything. And that sometimes is interesting. Luca Lunetta's best finish is 6th back in the Netherlands earlier on this year. For him to be running right now in 3rd position is unthinkable. It's his rookie year as well. He's going absolutely brilliantly, and credit where credit's due, has the pace. And Alonso down in 4th position, so that move got changed over again. Rueda's going for second. Rueda's going for the lead. Inside line at turn 9 and 10. And the Spanish crowd erupts as Jose Antonio Rueda takes the lead of the Aragon Grand Prix. The Dutchman of Colin Via, though, trying to come back. Alonso's going on the inside of Luca Lunetta as well. The Colombian not done. Oh, fantastic racing. Rueda on for his first ever win. His best finish was 2nd back at the Portuguese Grand Prix earlier on this year. Is he about to claim a numero uno victory? Still, they'll hold it together. Over the straight we go, down towards the last 2 corners here in Aragon. Still 4 to go after this. It's a long lap, 2 minutes per lap. 8 minutes left to go the race. And that could be even more crucial.
Lunetta got a lovely slingshot out
Alonso.
the last corner. Got the inside line.
Yeah, David Alonso scrapping, isn't he, here with what he's got left, but we've seen a close-up of his rear tyre. I don't think he's got too much to be able to scrap. Lunetta will be having his own issues as well. So Alonso just needs to stay in there and do what he can. And however much he's tried to be gentle on the tyre, it's not worked.
Yeah, I'm going to go and look at these tyres after the race. It's really interesting to check. And it's going to be a story of the day. We're going to see it in Moto2, we're going to see it in MotoGP, absolutely.
Well, in MotoGP, it was both sides of the tyre, weren't they? They were really marked up at the end of the sprint race. They have been mandated in MotoGP. They're not going to run the soft. They're not allowed to run the soft. KTM were hoping to use that, actually. Well, they considered it. They had pace on it. But they're not going to be allowed in MotoGP, and it's all down to not say a low grip track. The actual asphalt has grip, but it's dirty and there isn't any rubber laid down.
Yeah, not surprised.
Especially with overnight rain again. So 3.5 to go. Jose Antonio Rueda could be about to take Aki Ayo's first win in Moto3 this year.
Oh, Rueda nearly dropped it!
There's a moment at turn 12, and that will just give a bit of encouragement to Colin Vaya.
That all started in the braking zone. He had a little bit of lead angle and he just touched the white line. You could see he pushed the front a little bit. He had to let the brake off and then he was wide. As soon as he went wide, onto the slippy part of the track, he lost more time. And like you said then, if you're Colin Vaya, you're like, right, perfect. He's on the limit. He's not in control of this. This is him going wide, so get ready, the bike's going to move. Is it the front or the rear? It looks like the rear.
Jose Antonio Rueda is not, just having a look back at my stats, not won a race since halfway through his junior GP season in 2022 at the Aragon. He basically managed it home and managed it home in rookies. He hadn't won since Samsung in that one. So a long time since he's won a Grand Prix.
Yeah, so he's not been a winning machine actually. He's been super consistent, won championships.
So
yeah, so basically he'll be nervous now. He'll be riding tight. 3 laps to go. It's not a foregone conclusion. He's not in control. You're right.
Colin Vaya has been there and done that. They've battled in the past together, actually. If you think back to some of the rookies' day, Colin Vaya was second to Rueda in the Red Bull Rookies Championship. He was sixth to him in the Junior GP Championship.
One thing about Vaya, though, he's not the sort on the last lap to pull a real rash move. He's not one of the wilder riders. David Alonso's dropped right back now.
Yeah, he's had a pulled on him. Think back to that one with Sasaki last year in India.
See there, yeah, he has, yeah. He's been unlucky with that. But we saw Alonso then couldn't even tip in.
Well, Kelso's coming 9/10 quicker than him on that last lap. The gap between them is at 1.1.
I'll tell you what, and also right now, if you're Alonso's team, you put on the pit board P5 OK. Because what you don't want him to do now, these are the championship winning rides where you bring it up, you have a 5th or a 4th. If you don't want him now to panic thinking that I'm being closed in. Yeah, a 5th place finish now for Alonso. Happy days.
Still not clear which way the wind's going to go here, because Lunetta's also closing, you know, on this lap. He's come back to Vaya and Rueda.
Title fight.
He's there, 3rd place. Bright yellow lid on the number 58, Luca Lunetta. Turn 16 and 17 for Rueda. And is it in these left-handers where he has a little bit more? They get such a hammering round the left-handers here, through 16 and 17, through 9, 10, 11. But Jose Antonio Rueda with 2 laps to go.
Leading the way, no looking back either. He's keeping the advantage very much straight ahead, look forward. I think that's the way you need to be. The championship is turning on its head, it's spiraling around, but it is giving us absolutely fantastic racing. Alonso running out of tyres, dropping down into 4th position. Rueda on course for his first ever race win, and a race win that he absolutely thoroughly deserves as well. He's had to wait so long for it. Here's Kelso. He's 1.3 seconds back to David Alonso. Ruda holds off Via. The gap is a second now. Ruda just twitching the bike, coming on as well out of turn 10. Down to 12 now. Lunging forward on the brake, downhill. Second gear, then through into 13, 14, 15 to the chicane, then back down to 16, 17, the last two corners on this track. Throws the bikes in. It's going to be one more turn of the dice though. I don't think Via's got enough tyre left in him as well. Ruda might have got this one. The 99 is about to become number one for the first ever time. That would be a nice feeling for him to get a race win in an unpredictable season in in a predictable season of Moto 3, I feel like I should say. It is always predictable. Last two corners. Up to the line we go then. One more to go. 7/10 between Ruda and Via into turn one. Has Via got anything to close in the last 2 minutes of this race? I don't think he does. I generally don't. It's not that part of the track where you go, oh, okay, let's go for a move. Let's see if anything is going to be friendly. It's a difficult, hard, abrasive circuit. Ruda still holds in. They fly through. And I think it's going to be a Spanish winner in Aragon. How marvellous is this? A proper attack, a proper monumental race win is coming. Down through 9. The reverse corkscrew. Through 10. Just keeping it, holding together. 1.4 seconds. He's actually increased the gap on this lap. Last on the page is Jose Antonio Ruda. 99, the last number you can run in the series. It puts him right at the bottom of the stat sheet. You often forget he's there at the bottom of the page. No race wins to his name. No championship. But such an impressive rider who is growing from strength to strength. There's no better place to win. Aragon is considered MotoGP and even Superbikes the best circuit in Spain to win at. And you can hear your Spanish home fans cheering you on. A home win for your first win in the country where you took your first steps, your first ride, your first junior wins to get a World Championship win. It feels doubly special. Jose Antonio Ruda wins the Aragon Grand Prix. The Spanish fans go nuts. And that is the dawn of a new legend in motorcycle racing. So impressive this year in Moto 3. Finally, it gives a victory. Via second, Luca Lanetta gets his first podium. And it is tears and joy for Jose Antonio Ruda. His first ever Grand Prix win. He wins the Moto 3 Aragon Grand Prix. Perfection. Let's take a quick look at the Team TNT boys say.
They're riding around 5-6 seconds off the pace. If you look further down the field, some of the riders are 10 seconds off the pace.
Pedro Costa celebrating with his old team down there. Red Bull KTM Io have done it again. It's not Xavi Surtuza who's on camera. It's that man, Jose Antonio Rueda, wins his first ever Grand Prix. We'll have all the reaction to that intriguing Moto 3 Grand Prix after the break.
Well, they will. We'll go through the results. Jose Antonio Ruda is victorious from Via Lunetta. Alonso, Kelso, Furusato, Munoz, Zurazita, Holgado, Bertoletti, Fernandez, Ortola, Nepa, Suzuki and Esteban round out the points. Ogden, Deltweller, Almanza, Yamanaka, Rossi, Rulstone, and Adamita out of the race. Barassi, Ferroli, and Piqueras. What this does for the championship now is something special. Alonso leads, but he's 75 points clear. 3 race victories clear to Colin Vire. That is insane. Ortola 5 points back to Vire as well, and 1 point back to Holgado. So technically it's a 4-way fight in the championship, but Alonso is holding on massively. Ruda now moves up into 6th place behind Munoz in 5th. A truly special race then here in Motorland Aragon. My thanks to all of you at home for joining us. What a very special race. To win your home race as your first race victory is fantastic. Congratulations to Jose Antonio Ruda. He's the Moto3 Aragon Grand Prix winner. We'll see you next time at San Marino. Bye-bye.